Hi, my name is Jacob Sindorf,
And I'm George Muhn.
and this is our project on facial expressions. So we start the project with a few planning and conceptions. So here we're going to actually take the project for creating a human-like mouth motion and eye motion controlled by a microcontroller, as you see with these early drawings and early eye concepts here, as inspired by a gyroscope. We also created some early motion studies as seen here. However, these are relatively complex and show more of an artificial motion, which leads us into a bio-inspiration and anatomy-inspired source. As shown here with facial muscles, they have fibers and directions of fibers that we can actually follow with some sort of stretchy fabric in order to create an optimized smile and frown. And here we can show each muscle is being partitioned and drawn out so we can easily cut them out and create them however we want. That leads us into our prototypes and design for the system. So as explained, we found a polyester fabric that has a unidirectional stretch motion. So by cutting the fabric in the direction of the facial fibers, we can actually get a nice stretch and create a really good frown and smile motion. And here we can show the lip motion on a 3D printed skull in order to show it working on a 3D plane. However, by hand cutting these pieces, we ended up causing a lot of frayed edges and overstretching, which caused failure over time. So to solve this, we actually laser cut the polyester sheets using a SolidWorks design piece and fabric glued them all together as shown here. This achieved a really nice clean edge in a precise size, and we could quickly make them. Another issue that arose was that fabric glue actually changed the polyester and caused it to be really stiff and unstretching. So we ended up just sewing all the pieces together, and we actually sewed it again to the skull to hold it into place. And lastly, we had our eye design, which is actually resin printed for a nice high resolution print. And inspired by the gyroscope, we can achieve a horizontal and vertical motion. So now on to George with the overall actuation and control of the system.
So with the lips cut out and put onto the skull, we can now add our servo motors and put them onto the 3D printed mask using hot glue and melting into the mask with a soldering iron. The mask is then attached with those servos using different fishing line and wire to move both the lips and the eyes by pushing and pulling. To control all this, we use a PlayStation 3 controller. You can pause here to see all the controls. And here is a demo video of the controller moving all of the servos in the back. You can see that push and pull motion, and it works the same with the lips, with the fishing wire attached to the ends and sides of the lips, pushing and pulling, making an up and downwards motion. So here's our final design. In the middle is a straight on shot, behind the mask and a profile shot. And then here's a few different emotions that we get from our device. We can control each eye individually, or we can control them together. We can pull the lips up to create a smile. We can pull one side up and one side down to create more of a smirk, or we can pull both of them down to create a frown. Here's a demo video of this motion in the lips and eyes, and you can see the different kind of emotions that you can actually get from this robot guy. And we have one more demo video that really shows the control of the lips up and down. And this is our facial expression project for expressive robotics. Hope you enjoyed.